Hi, my name is Laura Usher, and this is my reimagining and redesigning of Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. Channel Orange is R&B singer-songwriter Frank Ocean's debut album released in July of 2012. The album is an exploration and amalgamation of many different styles, drawing upon electro-funk, pop soul, jazz funk, and psychedelic styles, as well as some non-musical sounds such as film dialogue, ambient noise, and static that serve as motifs and interludes. The title is a reference to Ocean's grapheme colour synesthesia, through which he perceives the colour orange during the summer he first fell in love. And this album is a broadcast, focus, a channel of that story and colour. The meaning within the title would become a huge inspiration for my designs. I then looked at Frank's discography and I noticed some commonalities. They're all really simple, clean, minimal, have an interesting and stylized typeface, and intriguing covers with an implicit meaning that doesn't give away too much about the album's contents. I do have some commentary on Channel Orange as a cover. So I love the orange. I think it's very iconic, very meaningful. I love the stylized text and I really want to keep them. And I find that the TV motif is a bit too subtle in the cover, given that it is so prevalent throughout the album and in the title of the album even. So I really want to enhance that TV motif and bring it to the forefront. I do find this cover a little bit plain, but it is still aesthetically pleasing, so I do want to keep the minimalism vibe. This is a replication of an activity we did in class one day, and I was really inspired by the title of the album and references to television and really wanted to incorporate it within my design. And I stumbled across the wavelength idea there after drawing a random little wave, and it inspired my love of science to recognize that orange has a wavelength, radio has a wavelength, and you can see in the corner there, I then worked on refining that idea before moving on to thumbnail sketches. And I also have included a test screen and an orange slice, which will inspire my later thumbnail sketches that you will see on the next slide. These are my three iterations. And we have an orange as the fruit, as a TV, an orange test screen, and the wavelength TV idea. And for references, I chose a retro TV due to its recognizable shape, as opposed to the rectangle that a modern TV would be, very boring and probably not very recognizable. And I feel like the retro TV really suits the nostalgic vibe of the album as well. These are the first two iterations, and I initially had the orange TV without the middle line drawing and the legs added, but I put them in there so it was more clearly a TV. I love the simplicity of the design. I think it's very cute and humorous and quirky, very Frank Ocean. I also adore the test screen design here with the gradient. It's super aesthetically pleasing. And while I enjoy these concepts, I do feel like they're not as conceptually strong or intriguing as the final chosen design. This is the final design, and it represents the meaning behind the title of Channel Orange. Radio waves are going in one end of the television and orange waves are coming out of the other, representing how Frank Ocean is broadcasting the story of his summer via music. On the back, I incorporated the color code, temperature, wavelength, and frequency of the color orange to add interest to an otherwise very plain back cover. I chose to honor the original orange and the stylized text that has become so greatly iconic. I refined the wavelengths, ensuring that the whole design was one continuous line. This included many drawings of the television, and I adore the simplicity of the line drawing as it really lends itself well with the waves. There's also grain in there to mimic the static of a TV. If I were to change anything about the design, it would be joining the waves with the TV a little bit better. I do find they're a little bit jagged. And have used the original font. I enjoy this font and I used it to branch out from the original typography, but I do still prefer the original. And here is the final design in a mock-up. I've also included the little center design there as well and kept it really simple with the same color, same font, just in a circle design, and I am so happy with the final look. I think it looks amazing. I think I may prefer it to the original. Here we have the poster design, and again we have the radio waves transmitted through a TV and the themes of Orange, the album, spilling out, video games, heartbreak, and an orange slice. The orange slice there I feel like is a very summery fruit and also a reference to the colour. There are loops to represent turmoil that is conveyed during the album, and I've incorporated elements of the chosen design's front and back cover as well, as a continuation and expansion of the album cover concepts. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my reimagining of Frank Ocean's Channel Orange.